So LLCs in New York City, like LLCs all across the country, are taxed depending on how many members are in the LLC. A single member, one owner LLC is taxed on the individual 1040 tax return on a form called a Schedule C. So really, if you're a sole proprietor or you're a single member LLC, you're taxed the exact same way. Only difference in New York State is if you're an LLC, you have a $25 filing fee to New York State every year. It's on a form called an IT 204LL, and you must file and pay that $25 each year. So the main reason people set up LLCs in New York State, New York City, is to have that legal protection. It doesn't actually give you any tax advantage. And of course, that sounds a little confusing. Happy to talk about that in the consultation. Because yeah, maybe you want to go with an S Corp as opposed to an LLC, or an LLC taxed as an S Corp. But long story short, LLCs are taxed in New York City just like our sole proprietors are on a form called the Schedule C. The Schedule C is the form of the 1040 that you report the income and expenses of a single member LLC or a sole proprietorship. Now, specifically in New York City, not only are you going to have the IT 204LL filing fee, but you also, depending on your profit, are also going to have what's called New York City UBT, unincorporated business tax. And the whole point of the New York City UBT is to tax businesses that are not set up as corporations, so businesses that are not S Corps or C Corps. New York City still wants a piece of the pie. Now, they're willing to give you a little bit of an exemption up to a certain amount of income, but once you hit more or less 100 to 150,000 of profit, you are paying New York City UBT taxes at the flat rate of 4%, more or less. So when setting up as a business in New York City, you want to factor in the potential UBT cost, because that is going to be a tax you are going to have to pay.